Hello and welcome to Vanguard Live. Of course, it's lunchtime discourse, and we'll be talking to someone very interesting. But yesterday was World Animal Day, and yesterday, obviously, is that's the World Animal Day is a global social movement that seeks to raise the status of animals in order to improve welfare standard. And we're going to be talking to someone who has the onion of what this entails, and that's Honorable Michael Essien. He's a chairman, Akwa Ibom State Central Abattoir and Livestock. Good afternoon, Honorable Michael.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to hear from you.
All right, it's good to have you join us today on the on Lunchtime Discuss.
It's my pleasure.
All right, let's move in and talk about livestock production. Seeing that this is what your role entails, what is the role of livestock production in our economy?
Okay, thank you so much. The role of livestock production economy cannot be overemphasized. Like today, yesterday, the world celebrated livestock as an animal. Animals, over time, we have lived with animals over the years as the world was created. People use animals as pets, as security, as walking tools, for traveling, and a lot of things. So you cannot really, take animal away from human life. Now, talking about the economy, still about now, there are some part of the world that still use animal as a way of transportation. Especially places that you have much of deserts, and so they use donkeys as a means of transportation. And then coming down to us that deal on livestock for our livelihood, this is what we do for a living here in Nigeria. Before now, especially in this part of the world, in Nigeria, we are really practicing open grazing. But we didn't really have it good. But however, some people have had their livelihood via the rearing of animals, because we have a value chain in the economy as regards animals. We have the shepherd boys that take care of these animals. They are paid, so it also contributes to the economy of the nation. We have the dealers, the owners of the animals. That's, the people that rear it. And then you have the middlemen, that these animals are taken for them to sell, like, wholesalers that, deal on the animals. And then we also have the retailers that also sell to us, like the consumers also. Even down us also, we have the butchers, like us, that does the butchering. At that, we have another value chain that we call them the butcher's attendants. That's the main people that does the butchering. Those are our boys that catch the cow or the animals and butcher them for us. We also have people that we call the vendors. These are people that take these animals to the market and retail them to the final consumer. So the value chain cannot be overemphasized. If you want to talk about, poultry, people go into poultry and people are making a lot of livelihood from there. People go into dog farm, goat farm, and all that. So the value chain is so much, and it has really, created a positive impact on the GDP of our nation.
All right. All right. Speaking about the value chain, the supply chain of livestock production, what can you say are the problems that some of these people that go through?
Okay, well, in Nigeria, we've not really had it very good to really have optimal production because of infrastructures. We've not really had good infrastructures that will enhance the modern production of livestock that will really open up the commercialization of these livestock. So these are issues. And then we are in Akwa Ibom here. The government have really tried, but I don't know what happens in other states where we try to relate to other states that do not really have the presence of the government coming into the livestock sector. These are part of the problem because in some states I have heard where farmers complain that they cannot really gain access to veterinary doctors. They cannot really gain access to professionals like people from the Department of Livestock, Fisheries, and all that. So it becomes a problem. And then we have had cases of cow rustling where people come and steal your animals and all that because we don't really have a well structured facility that will really take care of it. So that it really tells on our production. You can see we cannot really produce milk in Nigeria because apparently we don't have the facilities for ranching. We have not really gone into ranching. That is why you still see in Nigeria cows to roam about. You cannot really have it go when you have that happen. Or when the animals are in a particular place where they have what we call the sedentary life, they will be able to produce better. And these are some of the issues that we have as in the animal production.
All right, you just spoke about livestock theft. How have managed that situation in your area?
Well, in Akwa Ibom State, we've not really had that. We are very grateful to the government of Akwa Ibom State, the governor of Akwa Ibom State. He has done so much in the area of security. So in Akwa Ibom State, you don't really have that, as a problem. Apart from that, we have a very serious synergy with the Hausa community and people that deals with livestock. So we are working together with them, and so there is serious communication. Before your animal gets missing, or as your animal gets missing, we have a way of tracking it, and I would say we have it here like 80% success.
All right. So, how have you been able to, regulate the availability of livestock and prices within Akwa Ibom State?
Okay, like I said, we are very grateful. I still give credence to our governor, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, the Knudom Emmanuel. He has done so well in this aspect. He is a very good economist, and you can see that play out in different aspects of the economy, not just in the livestock sector. First of all, the committee, that deals with livestock in the state is not only made up of just Akwa Ibomites. We have included people from outside, our strangers like Hausa community and other communities that deal with livestock. So we have a synergy. We have a way of having these product coming as much as we have them, and then our governor, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, through the Ministry of Agriculture, they have a way of giving us shock absorbers so that we can be able to deal with the hiking price. I want to categorically tell you that seemingly the price of meat in Akwa Ibom State right now is the same with that of Kaduna and Kanu, Jigawa, and other states because of the relationship we have with the other community and the help that we have had from the government of Akwa Ibom State via the Ministry of Agriculture that is led by our amiable mother, Dr. Gloria, the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture. So that's, we've really had it good here. Thank you.
All right, you've been talking about the Hausa community in Akwa Ibom State. So, what measures have you put in place to sustain such healthy relationship with them?
Yes, like I said, you would have to replicate the gestures from your principal. Our governor is a very accommodating governor. I think it is only in Akwa Ibom State that you have special assistant to the governor that is from other states. That is how we have been able to relate with them. Like I told you, in the committee that regulate the activities of the Central Abattoir, we have the leaders from different sections. From the goats, we have Alaji, Aliyu, we have Mustafa, we have Alaji, Barakindo, we have, all of them, they are there, most of the people. So we have a way of relating, we discuss together, we come to a logical point together, and then we have a way of sending down the information to their subordinates. They work with their leaders. So by the time the leaders come and then we are on the same page, we are able to disseminate this information now. And so if you come to Akwa Ibom State, we are living very well with this. Our strangers, they are very happy staying in Akwa Ibom State. Some of them do not even want to go back again because of the friendly dispositions that we have had with them. Most of them come to our houses, we eat together, we play together, and some of them have married our sisters. So we are so friendly, and then we've had it that good, and that is how it has also created a positive impact on our economy, looking at it from the livestock sector. Thank you.
All right, how do you intend to address the challenges that will come as a result of the just signed anti-open grazing bill by Governor Emmanuel Udom?
Okay, challenges. I don't really see challenges, but because Akwa Ibom State is a state that democratically, had the process of this bill passed to law. The process was very democratic because, like now, I still give kudos to the leadership of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. I give kudos to the House Committee on Agriculture in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. I give kudos to the Ministry of Agriculture as led by Dr. Gloria Gates. And I really appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, for signing that bill into law. Why did I talk about the democratic disposition of the House of Assembly? I said that because we were part of that bill. How were we part of that bill? The bill was sent to us, stakeholders of the livestock business. We perused the bill. We sat down together, even with the other committee, and we looked at the bill. We saw that this bill is not wanting us. It is coming to give us life. It is coming to create another avenue, more avenues for this, our business. And so we sat down together and looked at it from that angle. And then we also had our own inputs. the Ministry of Agriculture, that is the mother, ministry that oversees us. They also made their inputs. The other communities, they made their inputs, and then we submitted it to the House of Assembly. It did not just stop there. They also called us for what we call a public hearing, where the Hausa community was invited. We, the dealers, were invited. Other, neighborhood watch was invited, and other organizations and bodies were all there for the public hearing. And so it was done well. We also spoke, government spoke, and at the end of the day, as the bill was signed into law, we have seen almost all of our prayers as reflected in the bill. So I don't seem to see any lacuna coming out of the passage of this bill to law, because the bill was well drafted. We looked at it and we saw the business side of the business of the law, and so it's gonna create more money for us instead of creating problems for us.
All right, let's talk about the health costs. How do you estimate the health costs for communities where livestock operates?
Okay, at some point, at every point in time, whatever business you have to do, you have to look at what we call business social responsibility, and your business must also be environmental, should I say, environmentally very friendly. Because in Akwa Ibom State, we have from the Ministry of Environment, they come in from time to time to look at our activities, they look at our environment. So we have a synergy with the Waste Management Agency in Akwa Ibom State that is managed by Prince Ika. And from time to time, they come in, they take off the waste. And we also use, we are trying to see how we can turn our waste to wealth. And we are beginning to do that by evacuating the cow dung and the animal dung as organic manure in our government farms. Ibom State is engaged in the production of tomato, onion. In no distant time, we are going to monopolize the market for what do you call palm coconut. Yeah, we are going to be the highest producers of coconut, if not in the world, but in this part of Africa. And so this cow dung and they are used to fertilize all these our crops. So we are really by that you could see that the environment is not really much affected. In the central abattoir, what we have ensured that animals are not, burnt, with tires and other chemical, other product that contains chemical, because these will pollute the environment. So we have taken that into consideration. We have also taken the health of these workers into consideration. So the Akwa Ibom State government make sure that nobody uses tires to flay animals. And so we have really ensured that at the central abattoir, so that the pollution is not there. In the central abattoir, we use gas to flay our animals. We use firewood to flay our animals. We use coal to flay our animals. So we are very much environmentally very friendly. Right now, we in the central abattoir we have the sewages that takes off the, you know, the water from the slaughterhouse is well structured. Even at that, the government is coming up with what we call the biodigester sewage that will take off the cow dung and the water and then turn it to what we call the methyl gas for flaring of animals. So you can see that we are so much, environmentally friendly with our environment. And also, more to it, we have veterinary doctors are there to make sure that what comes into the state is of a consumable standard. It's not in Akwa Ibom State, we don't just consume any animal. The animal that comes in, the veterinary doctors will certify them fit for consumption so that we still take into cognizance our health, and they conduct what we call the antemortem assessments. Even after butchering the cow or the animal, they also conduct what we call the antemortem assessment or the postmortem assessment to assess the different organs in the body to be sure that they are good for consumption. So, however, very soon the Central Abattoir is going to receive an award for keeping the environment very friendly from the village and from the clan. So we are very grateful to the governor of Akwa Ibom State, the Honorable Commissioner, for making it possible for this to happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I've been speaking with Honorable Michael Essien. He's the chairman at Akwa Ibom State Central Abattoir and Livestock, and he's shed more light on what the Akwa Ibom State is doing about livestock production and how they've been ensuring that they get ready livestock feeds for consuming purposes. Thank you so much, Honorable Michael Essien, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right,
you so
remember.
much.
All right, remember to equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. If you want to find out up-to-date stories, you can go on our website, www.vanguardngl.com. I am Precious Chukudi, and thank you for watching.